came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry! We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already!
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good! People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life!
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist, to seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Forget about me. This is about what you want. Art is the key ingredient in fine dining.
What exactly?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kinda salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
icon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Ugh. That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might... Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for... Vache, right? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is? Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim. I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting, I never knew how heavy it could be. No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth. Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Navi is outnumbered!
down! Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Chlorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Chlorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Chlorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off. I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
This is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Miss Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah, That's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Adventuring underground is way more fun than I thought.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Adventuring underground is way more fun than I thought.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
Adventuring underground is
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time.
adventuring underground is way more fun than I thought.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? Great. Let's go then.
There's a pleasant breeze and glorious sunshine. So, Where shall we go for a walk?
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home. We're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It will be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, Then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
What game?
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the Unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades.
What'd I do?
There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
Who can break
The
them out?
worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve
You just
during
sneak into
Mr.
my crib and take my
Lee's case.
PS5?
We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Come on, man. You want the exact address? I
true.
got you right here.
Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Maloose.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on
It has
any
been pretty
kind of
boring
risk for your
lately,
sake.
so I would love somebody to break into my
Considering my
house.
relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations.
It's so fucking boring, man. I gotta do something to entertain myself.
Thank you for all of that, Maloose. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Oh, it's not fucking.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di
20
Rosula,
minutes to come with
or at
a
least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Maloose. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death.
He did it for fun.
After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
All
They
that.
still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Melus. You really are the best.
A new case
R.I.P.
awaits,
to
my
the
dear
dead.
partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case
like some
once
mafia
and for
shit.
all.
Oh, this nigga snipe. Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Nah, there he Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with so bad. Got me?
Did he get pulled over again?
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your
I
leisure.
think he's interacting with the
Thank you
cops.
for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
You got caught again.
Hey, Navia's all quiet.
Gotta speak to your supervisor.
Nigga, you dead ass?
Kill him.
It be your
I'm
own
sorry
people.
that I only
That's
came to
crazy.
visit after
What,
all
did he
this
run
time.
you over?
After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize.
I didn't mean
After
to
my
shoot that.
husband died,
Yes, you
Spina
did.
di Ursula sent
'Cause
us
you
a
hit her
lot
with
of
the front
money and
bumper.
support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
Bro, why the fuck is this little girl mad? Like I will throw you
Aren't all
off.
of those things
Oh.
nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
Girl on this game, she just immediately gave me a
I
mean
can
mug.
understand the kind of pain that comes
Like
with
I won't
losing a
like just
father
throw her
so
into the river and watch
needlessly.
her drown.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could
fucking
possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
I'm not. I'm trying to see if about this apartment.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought
Oh,
more
she's
was
mad that her dad
everything.
got killed?
So
Oh,
when
that
Mr.
sucks.
Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still
It was
found
his
out
fault
by
for
the
doing this
higher-ups.
drug dealing.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Make sure you pat him down well.
Nah, fight back, nigga.
What, did she kick you in your nuts?
I don't know that
Oh
for
yeah,
sure,
when they get kicked in the
but
nuts,
you could
half your
say
health
that's
gone. I know from
the
experience.
conclusion I eventually came to.
That shit sucked.
Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had
Yep.
always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had
Oh
done.
shit!
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad
Oh
guy? If
shit!
he did the right thing. Papa always wanted to be a good
That's
man. So
wild.
why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel
Damn.
like your papa was a good man, right?
He said
Yeah.
good night.
Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold
Just
on
knock
to
him
that.
out.
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must...
Oh, look at these cars.
I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? The first time anyone said that to me.
You dead. My daddy would have fucked you up.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
You about the sniper?
Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find
You about the sniper?
Greetings, boss.
You pulled the
How
other
may
gun
I be
real
of assistance
fast.
today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also
Run the hand.
reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. And we found some clothes left at the scene.
Never mind.
After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should
Do
try
not
to
put her on
reopen
the
his
charger.
case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
She's running for her life again.
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that
She's
day.
leaving you in the dust now.
So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it.
Fuck. Should have never
Who
came
knew
to
that
this
we
day.
would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after?
Yeah, you
My
cornered
first
now.
reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
Look at him just standing
When I
there.
got there, it was already too late.
It's over.
Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots.
Oh yeah,
then.
she got out.
The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone.
She got him to hell with that leg.
I've never
She
really
used it
thought
in her
that
favor.
explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to
Oh
the
yeah,
scene.
she left you in the dust.
According to the guards,
Now you gotta go hit her with the
doesn't mean
bumper.
He couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into
Hit her
water?
with the bus. Oh yeah. Yeah, 'cause it's real steel.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
Oh my god. Goddamn dying. Oh, I lived.
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
Oh yeah, look at her.
Understand.
Hit her!
Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet
realistically,
has been a
you
thorn
could
in my
break
side
that through
since
that
the
fence
day
with
it was
that car.
invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years
I've seen a
had passed.
truck
But it was Mr.
like break through a
Callus's
brick
trust
wall
that allowed me to rise
and
through
land
the
in my
ranks
friend's
of Spina
backyard.
di Rasula
Damn.
and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Oh yeah, grab her body.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth.
Well, we gotta get rid of the
You and
evidence.
all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just watching.
I'm about to get some water. Hold on, I'll be right back.
You don't got a radio? Shit's probably broke. Probably like the trunk right now is broken. You looked back. You looked back. You had to double check to see if the trunk was.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more
That
about you
shitty
all
piece
the
of
time.
shit is not more of a shitty piece of shit. Where the fuck? Not there.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Nava?
Oh yeah, time
I've
to
heard that you
pimp
make
my
quite the name
ride.
for
This
yourself at the
ass
Opera
car.
House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also
got
a
blood
member
on
of the
the hood.
guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but
Does it have like
high-paying
the
job in the
rust?
city. Anyway,
I don't
enough
know
chit-chat.
what the
Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Ah, yes.
Rusty
These two
piece
are
of
my
shit.
partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my
It has the
father's
rust coat
may be
on.
related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more
He's
to
in
the
share screen.
case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was
We're looking
also
at the
flabbergasted
shitty
when I
piece of
first
shit
heard
right
of
now.
it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look
What
for
color
them.
are you gonna pick?
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually,
Go black.
I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle
It
Poisson on my
does,
own.
but that's just like we can still see like
Why
the
do
rust
you ask?
particles, like the
We
brown
definitely
shit
can't
on the
use them
wheels.
to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered
White.
Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial
White.
numbers and send them after me.
Then you
Look
think
at that
too
shit.
highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them.
You expecting this car to be expensive?
I had to make an analogy. When you order a dish, the chef will make it for you.
I mean,
you
maybe.
can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Black wheels. We're really customizing this car. Oh, I would never put that on my kids.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Yeah, it's supposed to be multiple cities. And each one has like their own theme. So we might get one that's like... We're probably gonna get one, and then like one's probably gonna be Hillbilly Town. Well, we're supposed to, like... we're gonna have to take a fucking plane. Yeah, but that was like the cinematic scene where we flew in on a plane.
Really?
I've no fucking clue. I don't think they really talk about that. Oh. Damn. She's fucking up the car. Fucking up the car. We just customized this car. Look at the car. Damn.
Hello. How may I help you?
Oh.
I'm here to see Marcel.
Oh yeah, hit her.
Could you please let him
Hit
know?
her.
You can just say Navia's looking for
You
him.
probably gotta already do some repairs, so we might as well just hit her with the car.
Navia.
Oh, right over me!
Wait, right
Right
Not as
over
young as I
me!
used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel.
Oh, you jump back in?
There's no need to stress.
Bastard.
I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the
You don't have your door.
I'm sure you saw everything too.
Look at your
right?
bumper, it's gone.
Yes, I've never
And
seen
your hood.
anything so
Open the
strange.
door.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
Open the door.
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Flip
I
it.
also witnessed your
Flip.
marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon
I
at
didn't
your
even
own
hear
game,
you. You said that about me?
I can already imagine everyone in
Back it
Fontaine
up.
discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Park it right next to her.
Oh, Paimon doesn't
She's
want
gonna
to
have to
become the top
fly.
of drunkards.
Open the door.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama.
You about to
and
lose.
theatrics.
That car's about to explode
Uncle
pretty soon.
Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes.
Damn.
I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Open the door.
I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Open the door.
And what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Garmax. And there was also
Blame
an
it on the
attempt to get me
car.
to drink water from the primordial sea.
Oh yeah, put a bomb
If
on.
not
Oh,
for the
the
vigilance of my
bomb.
partner, I probably
Blow her
wouldn't
up.
be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected
Oh, that's
us?
funny, Sneaky.
It is.
It seems things are heating up again.
What's wrong? I'm not allowed to laugh now? That shit's
soon become a thing of the past.
so funny.
But rest assured, now
I'm not allowed to
Just
laugh.
safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there.
God damn.
If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora.
Just 'cause you told me I couldn't.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
Do you have any new thoughts on
Best
my
part.
father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet.
Damn,
so
it's
I was
3
out and
a.m.,
about
I
the
didn't
whole
even know.
time, making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the
Nope.
guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot.
Though I do
and the
want
rest
to
was
go to
history.
work without, being so fucking tired.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
A lot of stuff's missing.
All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
No, negative fix this car. Yours kind of look like a pickup truck now. Like a short ass pickup truck. I thought you were about to say you about to go take this to the club. Why? You got money to fix this car?
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations
Why?
with me.
I'm not on that game.
I just sent him money.
Particularly suspicious.
Oh.
Damn.
No bumper, no lights. You're missing the hood.
A hood. The hood and the trunk.
Yeah. He got 2 left. He's still going. The other 2 doors are just sitting on the street. In a parking lot.
Oh.
Oh. Did you just get sniped?
Police.
Oh, the police killed you? Makes sense. Kratos.
I suppose that's to be
You have no
expected,
backlights.
though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out,
Look at the
my
other
father
side.
wouldn't have needed to investigate
Look
the
like a
case
rhino
for so
just hit
many
that
years.
bitch.
Anyway,
And it's dented
even though we
in.
didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
It's untouched. Well, that's probably been sitting there since like he stole the car, so it's probably bad.
Florana! suspicion that Callis
Probably been
probably
sitting.
ended up with a gun because
Yeah,
of
probably been sitting out there for about a week.
That makes sense.
Probably has
According
bullet.
to Jacques' family members, he
About a
already
week
told them that
ago.
he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day.
You probably
If I
open
had
that
to
boy
guess,
and it's just all
he
foam.
probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
I said evaporated.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
No.
Oh? And why is that?
Yeah, fuck your shit up.
With the alien gun.
I paid for the repairs. Besides that, I gave him money.
Look at that, you're fucking up the car again. Oh my god, you flipped it over.
You stink heifer. You smell like rotten potatoes and eggs. Ew, what the fuck? But that's just the one.
Oh, that's a good point.
Beetlejuice
Probably
piss.
already knew that he was
Let that
just
sizzle.
being used as a
What?
tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense
Let
from
that
his
marinate on your
perspective
mind.
would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
He can't even breathe. He can't even breathe.
Alright, let me stop before I start crying.
He can barely breathe. Something like that.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh shit! It's about damn time that shit caught on fire.
Oh shit.
No! No! You gotta get in the car!
I with you! No!
You either ride or die. Oh, look at the ride.
Don't do that.
You're supposed to stay in the car so we can go get it fixed. It don't matter if it's on fire.
Damn. That's crazy.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
She jumped out of the car. You stopped it. It just backed up to her.
Say, Jock, the
Get in
attack
the
from Guardians has
car.
been
Oh,
bothering
you
me
didn't even
quite a
like.
bit as well.
You can't get that
Obvious
car again,
that
can
our
you?
enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Call the insurance company, bro. Cause
Even then, that we'd
I
follow
thought you
this
was here
lead
for
to the
support.
end.
who's here for
Given
support?
everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three
You wanted me to
suspects would
blow
have
up
the
with
ability to
him?
control privately owned
Yeah.
guardians?
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I gotta pick out who's the suspect. This motherfucker.
Laurent?
I thought he jumped out the car
It is true that he
too.
was closest to my father.
I was
and
in
thus had the
first
best
person.
chance of
All I
learning
heard
about
was
his
oh
dealings with
shit.
Jacques. But Espina
Cause you could have jumped out the car and the car
his work mostly
could have
deals
kept
with personnel
rolling.
and security. So he shouldn't have much means when it comes
Yeah,
to
I
finances.
smacked the fuck out of
So
him.
you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly.
Oh,
He
I'm about
can't.
who sent.
And even if he could,
It's about who
I
sent the
don't
mechas
think he would be
after
able to
us, and
dispatch
like,
a
or
whole
the
group
fucking
so
cops
quickly.
after me, and then tried to fucking get me
Can't open
arrested.
this piece of candy and it's making me mad.
Oh yeah, why didn't you get the red?
No, the fuck?
All right, yeah, why didn't you get the red one? The old shit.
can
That
come
should
by
look
him.
easy to break.
Uncle Marcel? And with funds from... Still,
Yeah.
also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and
So it
energy
is
to
the
fight
cop.
his-
Okay.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also...
Yeah, had he actually... If the mecha...
Who could it be?
I'm about to do shit. You doing shit. Smell like jalapeno Cheetos.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We can't open this candy. Bitch. I'll forget diarrhea eating that egg sandwich, nigga.
With all the theorizing and speculating.
Oh yeah, look at this brown. Or whatever, I think it's like gold. It's probably gold.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be
Where are you
extremely
going?
risky. But we don't have any other options right now.
And
We need far
I
more
feel like
solid
it's gonna get
proof
boring
before
down
we can
there.
hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do?
I'm not gonna go back to court.
Any conclusive evidence?
What you do?
Huh? Split up?
I ain't do shit.
What do you mean?
But according to the game, a friend of mine is supposed to be going to court now. I gotta save his ass. See, if I do something, I'm not gonna get caught.
as expected of my partner. Since this is a
Told
trial
him to stop
about the
using
serial
McDonald's Wi-Fi. He
disappearances
don't
case,
listen.
the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malusa's info, the Synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Babe. Go in. I told you to stop using that McDonald's Wi-Fi. It's better to eat fresh than eat all that grease. I never lagged out, so what you talking about?
Finally!
Out of the car, bro. The fuck?
Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base.
Out the
It
car.
sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Out the car.
You're right. An important place
the
like
cat,
this is
bro.
bound
He
to
comes
have
out with a
ton of
banger.
protective measures and mechanisms. Nadia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept
Have
the
any more
charge that you
water?
are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
That's not
In which
nice.
case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Really disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand?
That's how you feel?
You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. We have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man. Huh? What's going on?
What?
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness.
This movie.
But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol.
That one movie.
I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your
I said
interjections.
first of all.
Oh, please.
I said
Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
You know the end of the movie.
We can put the discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default. Correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway.
You know at the end?
So I'll take you up
when
on
they go in the car and they fly
so,
away.
Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
Like a white
you may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you'd like to charge instead?
I am... what?
That person is...
What?
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
He's like, I don't clean my ass.
What Confrérie?
Yo.
Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's
I don't clean my ass.
organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes.
I do. In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia,
body
please present your
is
charges.
crazy.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case
Nah,
of
he can choke me
Palace
with the
the
body slam is
Unfaithful.
crazy.
Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia.
Don't let me drink Hennessy because I'll be choking you
your
too.
father? Come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of
I
the gun.
do, but I don't.
If that's
Because
enough
that
to
makes
make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the
I love
specifics
tequila.
right now.
It's
The audience
tequila.
doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm
Yeah,
struggling
this
to
nigga
remember
did it.
some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your
That's
Honor.
a pretty name.
I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see.
I love chicharrones.
In which case,
You
I
don't
will
like
recount the
chicharrones?
findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison
With some
Guardian.
lime? That shit is fire.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted
No,
a
I
large
said
banquet in
lime.
a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life.
No, it's not,
The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clorand in the ensuing duel, and
If
soon
you
succumbed
say that
to
to
the
a
injuries.
Vietnamese person, they smack the shit out of you. With the rat face.
These are the known facts about the case.
You said if you said that to a Korean person, they'll smack the shit out of you?
Vietnamese
or
person.
Vietnamese, okay.
Vietnamese.
You just eat that shit.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit...
You know what he smelled like?
Swamp.
He smelled like old bog water. That's what he smelled like.
Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion
Ever.
appeared quite sensible to us at
A
the time.
swamp is crazy.
If she played with herself and put her fingers in her mouth, her pussy's no
Information
nasty.
about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
I really gotta find a loophole.
I was gonna say something, but let me shut the fuck up. Gotta, who the fuck is she talking to? Fuck God.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of
He's like
assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet.
Just
However,
dumbass.
in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit
Yo, why
had
is my
already
birthday on a
considered this
Monday,
possibility
bro?
and had sent out another assassin.
Monday is crazy. Yo, watch your mouth.
This assassin first shot Jacques,
You
then
used to
turned
say
to shoot Callus, only
that
for
no one
Callus to
gives a
wrestle
shit
the gun
about
from
a
him
scorpion.
and kill him instead.
What? What?
I'm a scorpion.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as
You're
a
an
costume to
asshole.
disguise himself. But
That's
now,
it.
it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away
Yo,
all
if your meat
traces
is
of their
brown,
dissolved
it's
accomplice.
done.
Realizing
No,
this,
like
the
if you
true
cook it,
culprit caused
before
the
you
other
cook the meat
assassin
and
to
it's already
dissolve
brown,
into water,
throw it out.
leading
It
everyone
has
to
to be
believe
red,
Callus
bro.
was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
No.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water
Yo,
from the
what?
primordial
I'm
sea
talking
has
about
been
like
used
cooking,
for
my
all these
nigga. What are
years?
you talking
What
about?
a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives.
No, I didn't.
I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel,
You're
you are
well.
the one charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I
Nobody
think I
was
agree
talking
with
about
everything
black
Nadia
dick.
said.
If I was talking
In
about
fact,
some black
there was nothing
dick,
in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
Where you come from, bro?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just
That's
go home.
crazy.
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people
Oh, I
who
want
went
some
missing around the
tostones.
same
That look
time,
good.
we should be able to find a match.
You shut up.
Considering the serial disappearances case,
Shut up.
the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time,
Smell like old bong
regardless
water.
of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would
Tobacco
consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I
Smell
feel
like
like
a
Farina's
Black
acting
and
a
Mild.
little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen.
You smell like the barbecue Doritos.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described,
Yeah, I don't even like
why
those.
didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a
gross.
defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all
Word.
to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right.
Don't do that.
But what good would that do? How can
Then
a
I
hollow
don't do
verdict
that.
protect anyone?
What?
Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the
Nah,
ability
fuck you,
to
the nigga. I
deter
called you
opponents
twice,
and
3
continue
times.
to
nigga.
Oh shit.
I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to
I
target,
just fucking called
as
you
well
3
as giving
fucking
me more
times,
time to
nigga.
grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge,
said what?
I will do what this opera house cannot and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father
Yeah.
intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
You about to get in
Of
trouble.
course. All you need is to ask
you're
his
right.
opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, and you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So,
What did I say?
during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work,
Shut down what?
I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate,
What are they gonna shut
and
down?
some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
So we
Of course,
mimicking me
Your Honor.
now?
The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's
Y'all was
case,
mimicking
the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result,
shut up.
they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end
Were
of
they?
Winnie's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was
Woke
the
up
only
and ready to
person present
argue.
at both events?
Let's go.
On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing?
If you want
Can't
me,
someone remotely
you let
monitor
me
the place?
know. Hi. That's nice.
I don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings,
This guy got
and to
it.
stop rushing headlong into things,
He is
you'd have met most of his
fucking
expectations.
getting rid of those charges easy right now.
This isn't just about
He's
me.
about to get away
And it
with
never
murder.
has been.
2 murders,
The biggest
actually.
difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah, well, fuck with you, gang.
He probably has more connections or something.
That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Probably because they want to. They find his trial more interesting or something, maybe.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way.
Is he playing? Is he playing on PC?
Look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Oh. You can go to a courtroom? Or is it probably like the bank?
It is. Take it off. All that.
Want to lick that? What? Oh. There's water coming in on the roof? Oh wait, no, it's filling up. Never mind.
The level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But
Don't I gotta die behind
ways
you?
away
Do
from
you
where
kill
we
me
need
for
to
not
go.
dying with you? You said what? No.
Emerge, right here.
Time later, please.
Right now, emerge. Let's dance.
Good Bishop do.
Grimy trying to get me to go in there.
Nothing lasts forever.
He's also probably blacklisted.
Hola. Hola.
It makes basically hackers harder to hack into your system and shit. I'm blacklisted.
Oh.
It's clear. Let's go.
You broke, nigga.
It also probably helps that like that's probably why the cops arrested you. Let me stop.
Oh damn.
Can I get a for you?
Right here.
Can I get a fuck you? You seen the lady who was putting hot on the sauce for her hot dog? No, what is that? What's that?
What did I do?
Right here. Emerge.
Well, what up? I'm not. I'm in the middle of a fight right now. Hold up. What are you doing? Some shit to her? Oh.
So rude.
Take flight.
I'll protect us.
I don't need it because I'm not. I'm not.
After all that, we finally made it to the
Alright, let
innermost
me see.
kingdom.
And your share
Though,
play?
as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
Probably to send me a link to hack my shit.
That's right. What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here? And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
Dang, they really like kidnap a bunch of girls and turn them into water. That's
What is that?
Ew, what is that? It's fucking goo.
What happened, Daddy?
No.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's
You
father.
haven't. Right.
Oh, this seems to be an
Get
investigation
in.
him. Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques
Is it harder to mod stuff now?
This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil.
And I gotta expect this pool that's full of blue shit. Turn to grass and fucking...
That means this is where they make all the synth. And that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
car out like that. I didn't even drive.
Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
I didn't even I've been the best.
In progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synths pretty clearly labeled. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super obvious.
Look what you did.
What's this over here?
Then he's gonna get out, put a bomb
Looks
inside,
like some kind
and
of
then
place
be
for
ready.
Research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough.
Dang.
The experiment was a failure.
Would the
No
Consuelo get out the car?
to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22,
What are you gonna hit her with the front bumper?
and 24 were dissolved. Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
That's crazy.
Then you gotta tell the cops that, bro, this seat malfunctioned. And then she died. Bro, what the fuck?
Wow. I died?
I'm not even nowhere in that game or in that car. How the fuck could I do it? They're gonna ask you, do you have any evidence of this?
So that's why he did
Yeah, it's the clip, but I didn't say I was gonna kill her.
Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over?
In your footage?
Huh?
Oh yeah, I'm watching your share screen right now and I got that shit recorded.
Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But... yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity.
So I'm gonna bother her for her birthday.
No wonder even Neverland wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
So you're gonna bother her for her birthday?
She was like, you wanna come to the hotel out to eat with me? I was like, yeah.
Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
And she's like, you wanna come to the hotel? I got a pool. Or that's all she had to say. That's literally all she had to say.
Oh, so you got a pool?
She got a pool in the hotel.
Watch that shit get ruined.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully.
The pool's inside. I cry. I might cry.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks.
Cause I really want to swim. That's why I really want to go to Florida, because that's the first place I'm going is to that beach.
Denier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you
Going
found her
straight to the
diary.
beach.
Let's see.
I'm going to the hotel that has the pool and the beach.
It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
I miss being a mermaid.
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Venier's grown son? Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Oh shit! So they've been killing people as a family. Well, that sounds like an interesting family.
Image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
His father.
So you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that. As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Oh yeah, now it's just riding around the map. Oh shit.
Nigga, you're driving. He's driving.
You didn't run that shit into that gas station?
What you gonna do when you can't say no?
Oh, is it the book?
No. How you gonna act?
Of course it's her
But
diary.
the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
I thought it was...
Investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it.
Fuck.
Even the
I didn't
villains
even
and
do. I
opera
even the
performances rarely go
passengers.
that far. And with that,
Oh, he recreated his
Marcel's
identity.
motive has now been
Oh.
established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior
shit.
timing defense.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Marcel,
Yeah.
do you know
Yeah.
where you went wrong?
Yeah. Damn, she did a... He did a cartwheel.
People around you. So, you never
Hitting me
noticed
while
how
I'm
we changed
AFK.
or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you. What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignere's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame.
Swing, nigga.
You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice. Your beloved drama.
Ain't no
Turning
fucking
a blind
way.
eye to the suffering of the people. Vignere is
Dang,
dead.
you beat her up again.
We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she
Damn, and then you
goes,
blew up the gas station.
I will follow.
Now nobody can get
But
no
I'm not
fucking
from this
gas.
blasted place. So I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
I didn't throw a rocket at you.
She shot a rocket
Is
at
that
you.
water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve.
You wanna do that?
You wanna you with the black guy with an atomizer?
I can't follow.
I wanna see it.
Oh,
it didn't happen.
What
Oh
choice do I
shit.
have but to try to bring her back?
The bitch.
I did all of that. And in the end,
Look at that. Get the blood on your back.
Still got the better of me. I spent my entire life
Oh, who the fuck is
living
that?
on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
You got a gun with the explosive on
The
it.
suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress.
Explosives.
Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me.
Oh.
Don't anybody come near me.
That one hit me right.
There you right in the jaw.
Right in the, right in the Badussi.
Huh?
Yeah. Please, Vignere. Don't think badly.
Dang, you got your ass blown.
Do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this charge
Yeah.
is clear. With Mr. Marcel's
His corpse is
conviction,
now burning.
The charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and
He said
summarize
he's
the
a runner,
truth
he's a
behind the
track
serial
star.
disappearances case.
And I got his ass, but I'm on fire.
The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher.
Oh, with the
as a
laser
result.
gun is crazy.
Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to life.
What's she gonna do?
To cover his tracks,
Say
he
more.
invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson.
Dang, he really
During the
kidnapped
course of his
women and made them dissolve in
Vacher
water.
discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula.
Damn.
After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Nah, it was it's next.
He's hurt so many innocent people, and now he's finally getting what he deserves.
Over here trying to eat a snack.
Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant. The
day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Damn, they put me all the way on the
has
beach.
anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What? Ain't no fucking way.
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Wow.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
No. Ain't no way.
He's activating his spell legacy!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, The Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Oh, no.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either? But that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured
There's
that I will
no
continue
way.
to investigate this case in a
Not
personal
playing
capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Alright.
Fuck you.
Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Let's dance.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey!
I'm gonna
Traveler!
smoke the bear bag.
Marcel, what are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please, please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
So he is a god.
Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vignier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache!
I'm here! Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermont.
What is being said right now?
If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Wait, you are not Vignere. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignere. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignere.
Why? But then, where is Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignere's, she has had nothing but pure...
What am I hearing right now?
...for you.
No! Yeah! She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please! Have mercy!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignere. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Vache.
Drown.
some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature.
He got dick.
So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since.
He
She
got
was trying
dick
to
in the
lean on
shade.
our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence,
something new every day.
that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vaché's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now
The
that the case
interlabia?
has finally been solved,
Yeah.
perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
Is that the actual plural for labias?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him
You're about to get,
this day.
He's about to get in trouble for pussy.
Includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
The floppy things?
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone,
Just drop it, bro.
Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Just drop it, bro. Yeah, but you about to get in trouble for pussy.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Labias.
There's someone there already. Wait.
The labia.
That figure. It can't be.
Hmm?
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
Damn.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Nervalette.
Bro, you're getting ignored.
Case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day,
She
I've been
AFK?
turning a question over and over.
Customer
in my
services?
head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that.
And
it's
imagine you
probably
get a
more truthful to
woman
say
on the
I
phone
didn't
too.
believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things.
Is there a
They could
woman on
rebel
staff?
against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would
Damn.
never throw
Imagine
away his
that
life
though.
like
You could.
that.
What if you had to answer
But there
that
was
question
nothing.
because somebody asked you
Should
that?
have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely
You're getting ignored
unrelated
again.
to him.
Oh shit.
And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's
Yeah, because you're talking about another female.
life itself. So you asked
But they
me
get in
why I
trouble
came.
for talking to another
I just
female
wanted
anyway.
to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person.
Yeah, you better get in trouble.
I should have noticed all of this.
Yeah, you gotta sit out.
This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me.
Oh
for
shit.
days.
I might as well
The
just
high
call
and mighty
customer
chair in the
services
opera
and ask this
declares
fuck ass
indeed
question.
insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh?
Yo.
That reminds me of Silver.
You said
one
send
of
me
my
a
guys.
picture right now.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Send me that picture
Didn't I
right
just
now.
say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Nervalette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude?
Why is that dude just standing in the background looking at the stars? There's nothing out. He's looking at the or the evening sky. Am I gonna get pussy today? It's probably through his mind.
Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to
He
come
said
pay
that shit
your
was
respects to her
pretty,
father?
not prickly.
We ran into Navi on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see.
He's letting that marinate
Then
in his
is there
mind.
something that I can help you with?
Yeah, he's letting that shit.
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured
He's
we could try to
mesmerized.
ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Lenny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
Huh? But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
Huh. So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memornia.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right. You've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. You know, we've been walking around for a while now. Why don't we go back to the Spina di Rosula base in the court of Fontaine and have a rest? Now
a blade embraces its duty as it... Jeweler cherishes their gems.
Why do you sound more intrigued? I'm not gonna lie, you do sound Hispanic. It's probably because you sound like my friend to me. Yeah. And he's Hispanic, so... And you sound like him. Yeah, you about to get in trouble. Dang, no response. Damn. Yeah, the couch is calling your name. Here we go.
Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Damn.
My apologies.
What about this? I'm not even hungry. I'm just curious what the rest is.
You put your boy in Tahine. Good. No? Well, kind of. Some people think it's spicy. I love that shit. I think some people can. I love that shit. You're bugging out. It's not spicy to me. It's good. I like it.
Like that's so spicy.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Get to a center of a Tootsie Pop.
So good.
Today is a lucky day.
They do. They put it around the rim and drink it.
Eat a snail.
Called
Come with me.
escargot.
Let us find shelter from the rain.
This supposed to taste like chicken. Hell.
What? What the fuck is this angle?
Come with me. Let us find shelter from the rain.
I'll protect us.
Yo.
Go, Barbara, go! La da 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 da.
I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Damn. He's about to get in trouble again.